So, recording got started. Thank you all of you for joining this wonderful webinar on artificial intelligence and machine learning. So, this is the buzzword in the market. Whatever the project that you are, wherever, whatever the part of the world you are. So, this is the buzzword that you are seeing, and this is our future. So, I requested Vamshi from Microsoft to help us in understanding what is this machine learning, what is this artificial intelligence all about, and what kind of career opportunities do we have, and what is the difference between this deep learning, Gen AI, all these new words. We're going to understand much more in detail from our trainer Vamshi. The session is getting recorded, and I'm going to share you the recording as well. By the way, some of you are very new. Maybe some of you are seeing me for the first time. For your information, my name is Lakshmi. I have 25 years of experience in IT, and I'm the director for hands-on agile coaching company based in Australia. So we are experts for driving all the training programs, which are completely job oriented and very practical. So all the training programs are given by the trainers who are really working, which means that we are going to get the practical knowledge. So I am expert at doing the Agile Scrum Master Product Owner training, and Vamshi is currently working in Microsoft. So let us hear more from Vamshi. So what kind of projects that he's currently working, and what is this AI, ML, and all the stuff. Okay, without wasting our time, I'm handing over to Vamshi. Hello, Vamshi. Good morning to you. I know you are joining from India. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir. Once
Oh,
again,
good. Thank you.
happy to
Thank
see
you.
you. And hey, guys, hello everyone.
Thank you, Vamshi. I'm just handing it over to you so you can drive and you can share. I made it a presenter. You can share the screen and drive the meeting. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, guys, and welcome to the session on AI, ML, and generative AI. So we have a lot of things to share. Feel comfortable. I'll not tell any kind of, complex technical terms here. I'll put down the things in as simple ways, words as possible. So let us start this session. And before this, let me tell you about myself. So I'm working for about, almost all 18 years of experience into this IT field. And again, into AI, I'm almost all 10 plus years. And I work almost all at different architecture levels in this field, actually. I'm right now associated with Microsoft and as a research scientist here. All right, so let me not boast about myself because we have a lot of things to learn and discuss. Fine. So now what is AI? Okay, so we'll discuss about AI. Of course, the technology of the future. I'll tell you, even we are using C. Let me tell you guys, see, directly or indirectly, you don't know, but again, you're using AI. I'll also tell you how. Okay, so there are real life examples that we can, I'll share with you people, so which will be very interesting. And of course, how this big tech companies or again different fields are using AI. What kind of outcomes they want, they want to, I mean, uh, dig out actually using this AI and how it is helping them. So we'll discuss in many different examples and ways here. Fine. So it is much more about some kind of introductory session. So I'll not go into deeper technical concepts here. But again, I'll give you some kind of overview about all the kind of technologies here. All right. So what is AI, ML, and generative AI? Of course, AI, artificial intelligence. ML stands for machine learning, and again, generative AI. So these are the popular buzzwords or the keywords, or you can see even these are the trending jobs, right? So wherever you see, whichever part of the globe you're into, all right. So you have, you can see a lot of jobs onto this kind of areas. But again, so what exactly this one is? So before we start with AI or its subfields like ML, deep learning, data science, or the present technology that is generative AI. Before this, you need to understand few things here. So let me share you that. For example, so you need to understand, I'll tell you why, the industry or we move to this kind of technology or what made the organizations or the enterprises across the globe move to this kind of advanced or the future kind of technologies here. So before this, you need to understand. So, I mean, I'll tell you what is the basics about the data. And again, I'll also share you some kind of history about AI. All right. So we'll also discuss about what is the history of AI. So it started, I mean, the concept with Alan Turing. So in the 1950s, I mean, he has started this kind of concept. But again, so we'll also discuss about that. So when it comes to the case of data, what do you understand by data, guys? What is data? So it's some kind of raw kind of information, right? It's some kind of information which resides in many different formats, right? So in simple terms, I mean, so it's some kind of information or some kind of raw data which resides in many different forms. So now, if I speak about the forms, right? So I mean, we had again different kinds of formats here. So we have text data. I mean, all right. So we have numbers here. And again, we have some kind of dates here. All right. So likewise, I mean, so data resides in different formats here. All right. But again, let me tell you now. So again, see, as per the data generation, right? So data generation, I mean, data is classified into some multiple types here. All right. So you say that is structured data. All right. Structured data. So it is not data. All right. Semi-structured data, structured data, and again, unstructured data. Unstructured data. Fine. Now, apart from this, of course, I mean, so is the other kind of data, which is now buzzing a lot, is also stream data. So that means some kind of electronic data or online kind of data. So, I mean, you can see this kind of example. I'll also share you the real-time example on this one. So now what is all this kind of data here? So structured data, semi-structured data, and of course, all this kind of data. Let us try to understand with simple examples here. Now, what are all this kind of things here? So structured was unstructured kind of data. And why you need to discuss these things, and also you can also uh, understand. I'll also tell you why we are discussing this kind of concept here. Because see, directly I can't go into AI, right? Now I can't tell you, I mean, see, AI is defined in many different ways, guys. There is no proper definition of AI. All right. So let me tell you something. Now, what is structured data and what is unstructured kind of data? Structured data, as the name itself defines, so there is some kind of predefined structure for the data. Fine. It's very simple. So the data, which is, for example, the data which is stored in a table format. So in a table format, right, we have some kind of rows and columns kind of thing. So where the data is stored in this kind of format. So it has a predefined structure here. And again, if you ask me, I mean, what are the kind of data, what are the type of data that it generally stores is, so we see it as some kind of numbers, dates, and strings kind of format here. So these are the, I mean, strings are also called as characters here. So these are the kind of data that goes into some kind of table here. Fine, it's very simple and it's okay now. Now, what about semi-structured kind of data? Semi-structured data, we have XML, we have HTML. So these are the very older kind of formats. Now you can see different web pages and of course, okay. So all those are perfect examples of, I mean, semi-structured kind of data. And what about unstructured data? So unstructured data refers to some kind of data which doesn't have any kind of structure here. All right. So it doesn't have any kind of structure. So for example, I mean, see, you're able to see this kind of, I mean, notepad, right? So in technical terms, we call it as a text file. I mean, so this is a perfect example of a simple unstructured kind of data. So do you think it has any kind of structure? No, right? For example, again, if you take the case of your email data, all right, your email data, your messaging platforms. Today we are dealing with a number of messaging platforms, right? WhatsApp, Telegram, and again, a lot of other things here. Okay. So again, I mean, you search for something over Google, I mean, so search engines, I mean, okay, you shop, I mean, on some kind of e-commerce portals, Amazon or any other kind of Shopify or any other kind of platforms here. And again, I mean, likewise, your IoT data, your social media kind of data, your other processing kind of file systems, you play games online. So again, which is the data is getting generated in some unstructured kind of format here. And again, likewise, you book some kind of food, I mean, over your online, I mean, apps here. Or you want to book some kind of Uber rides, I mean, so using some kind of Uber apps or something. All right. So likewise, if you take it, there are many different kinds of examples which comes under this kind of category. All right. So, and as per some kind of survey which was done by Gartner, which is Gartner is one of the popular research and consulting firms, guys. So according to their survey, so what they found out is what are the amount of data that is getting generated across the globe in this kind of format, that is structured kind of format, accounts to only 20%. And the rest of the unstructured kind of data accounts to almost all 80% here. And they even concluded that so in the coming years this amount will even rise actually. So that means the amount of data with this kind of format will decline actually, because more and more amount of data today we see so is into this kind of format here. And why we're discussing this one, because see, now let me tell you, see, if it is a structured data, we have different kinds of things. I mean, so we have different languages or whatever tools you can understand. I mean, so where we can deal with this kind of data in a very easier format here. But what about this kind of things? Now, even see, in order to, I mean, find out some kind of insights from this kind of data, right? Structured data, it is very simple also. For example, I can use some kind of SQL query. I can query that kind of table, fine? Because see, SQL is some kind of common language which can help you query the data or deal with the data which is stored in a table format. We know this one, all of you. All right. Now, what about this data? So what you do with this kind of data? All right. So, I mean, see, this data is getting, I mean, extremely, I mean, say, for example, I mean, it is getting exponentially rising. I mean, I can say in this way, exponentially rising. All right. So what do you mean by that one? So large amounts of data is getting generated each and every year. All right. Now, what you do with this kind of data? So first of all, you need to, I mean, extract this one, and again, you need to store this one, you need to process this one, and again, you need to, I mean, find out some kind of insights from the data, right? So do you think that traditional methods will help you solve this kind of, I mean, cases here? Or do you think that the traditional kind of methods will work out here in order to, I mean, find some kind of insights from the data, right? So it won't, I mean, do that, right? So again, let me tell you with a simple other kind of example here. So let's say, uh, let me give you with some kind of simple example, guys. Okay, so I'll take some kind of whiteboard and I'll explain you the logic here. All right. So let me explain you with a whiteboard so you can easily understand what I'm saying about. All right. All right. So let's say you have some kind of, I mean, data with you. All right. So, I mean, a simple data I'll give you. Fine. So I'm trying to analyze the last 3 weeks data here. All right. Last 3 weeks data. For example, I've given you certain kind of data. Okay. So now I'll tell you, week one, week one, for example, understand that you got $5,000 as sales here. All right. So $5,000 here. So USD. Okay. So I'll write in this way. And week two, okay, so week two, you almost all got, let's say, for example, $15,000 in terms of sales here. All right. And again, let's say, for example, week three, if you take it, you don't know what is the reason you did not made enough kind of sales here. Okay, so it was only $2,000 here. Okay. So now, I mean, we do not know the reasons. Okay. So first of all, let us try to understand from the data itself. Okay. So what is this data about? Okay. So now, so for example, if I told you to analyze some kind of things about the sales data, right? So this is some kind of typical sales data. Okay. So some kind of retail sales, you can take it. Okay. Now, how do you explain it to your, I mean, like say, for example, the VP or any other kind of, I mean, person or your CEO, or let's say, for example, the end users or the stakeholders here. Okay. So what we do, let's say, for example, I can also show you with some kind of bar chart here. Okay. So I have this kind of bar chart here. Okay, so it is just a rough kind of symbol. So let's say it is week one. So it is week two, and you have this one. Okay, so week one, week two, and it is week three. So it is 5K, and let's say, for example, it is 2K, and this is some kind of 15K. So this is the typical kind of chart you see. I mean, so where we interpret or the data in this way. All right. Now you can easily understand it. Now, so this is what I mean. You actually do this using some kind of SQL kind of reporting or any other kind of reporting tools like your Tableau, Power BI, or some other kind of reporting tools here. Okay, so typically some kind of BI tools you involve and you, I mean, find out this kind of inferences from the data here. Okay, now your BI tools can tell you what is happening in the data. The traditional BI tools I'm speaking now, modern day BI tools like Power BI and Tableau has came up with some lot of AI features here, so that is different. But again, how was the situation before industry moved to this? I mean, making some kind of informed decisions or predictive kind of analytics. I mean, so I'll tell you what was the situation here. Now, for example, let's say the sales is rising. Okay, so if I ask you like what is happening in the sales, right? And if I ask you to explain, right? So what will be your answer? So by looking at the sales, right, you can easily tell me that, okay, so compared to week one and week two, there is some kind of rise in the sales here. Okay, so it is exponentially rising here. I mean, okay. Now, but again, coming to the case of week two and week three, right? I don't know what is happening in the sales here. So what is going wrong with my sales here? Okay, so there is a steep decline in my sales here. All right. So there is a steep decline in the sales here. Now, if I ask you, like, what is the reason for this? Okay, for this downfall or for the losses in the sales here. So what would be your answer? What would be your answer, guys? So if you say, I don't know, I need to find out, so you'll be fired out. All right. So if you say this one, okay. So I mean, see, but if you answer like, okay, so let me check out what is happening in the data. Okay. Then, I mean, see, so you need to discuss about a lot of things here. Okay. So this is where all the organizations today are moving to some kind of, I mean, uh, some kind of processing kind of thing, or let's say, for example, some kind of advanced data analysis where they are using some kind of data science. All right, data science, machine learning, deep learning, and of course, the modern day of technology, that is Gen AI. Okay, so which are all part of this AI field here. AI is the vast kind of technology, guys. Okay, so we implement certain things. Okay, so different kinds of concepts based on the data that we have actually. Okay, so it is a vast kind of technology. It is just a buzzword actually. Okay, so how do you use it? I mean, in which scenarios you use it, and again, how to use it. Okay, so that is different here. Okay, so now let us try to explore now. Now you got some kind of idea, right? So why enterprises are moving? Because today, let me tell you, there are a lot of organizations and different industries or different domains. Okay, so whether you take it retail, all right. So for example, you take it retail. Okay, retail. So retail, and again, of course, banking, all right, and of course insurance, all right, and of course manufacturing, airways, or any other kind of stock market is the biggest kind of domain or the area where this kind of technologies are implemented in a large scale. Because see, I mean, they want to find out what can be the kind of predicted sales values or stock prices. I mean, okay, so I mean, so they want to find out in different ways here. Okay, so which stock might go up actually, which stock might fall down actually. Okay, and in the retail sector, right? So let me tell you, this is one of the other biggest kind of sectors or domains where this kind of technologies are implemented on a large scale here. All right, because see, now when you purchase some kind of product, right? Now you visit some kind of Walmart store in US. Okay, so they have their presence in almost all the parts of US, right? Okay, so across US they are spread. I mean, okay, now people flock to that store. I mean, okay, so they purchase different kinds of products here. And I mean, see, after this, what happens is Walmart. I mean, so do you think that, I mean, so when they got sales, I mean, so they would sit down calmly? No, right? Okay. So even see, they would analyze this kind of data by looking at the data, right? They would analyze here. Okay. So for example, now, if a customer is purchasing certain product here, so what is his interest into that product here? Why that customer is purchasing certain product here? So, or let's say because see, they want to find out this kind of patterns from the data here. Because see, now it will help them to find out certain trend in the data. All right. So trend in the sense, I mean, like say for example, it could be anything. So it can be like say for example, if you look at this bar chart, right? Now we have some kind of increasing trend in the starting, but after week two, there is some kind of decreasing trend in the data here. Okay. So likewise, they want, I mean, they want to find out what is the trend, I mean, across some kind of time period here, or so that I mean, what could be the trend in the coming days here? So that is some kind of future, right? So it's some kind of prediction. All right. So prediction. So that is where now these technologies will help you. I mean, okay, so implement and know certain kind of outcomes here. All right. So that is one of the biggest reasons because see, if a retailer can, I mean, okay, so find out, I mean, like, for example, why a customer is purchasing certain product, right? So in technical terms or in analytics terms, right, we call it as customer behavior. Now customer behavior is not any kind of moods, I mean, about the customer. Okay, so customer purchasing patterns here. Okay, so why is interested in certain product here? Now see, for example, let me tell you, if you take the case of mobiles, right, so some people might be interested to purchase Apple products here. All right, so some people might be interested to purchase some kind of Motorola. All right. So some people might be interested in OnePlus or some other kind of mobile phones here. Now it's depends upon their interest levels, right? So likewise, now from the data, they'll try to understand the patterns here. Okay, so why the customer is purchasing certain product here. So that because see, why do they do this is because when they try to launch a new product in the market, right? So they even want to find out which of the customers will give me, I mean, more number of sales or which of the customers can or will buy certain products here. Okay, so this is some kind of prediction so that they want to do here. And again, see, there is also some kind of, I mean, concept because how do these retail stores give you certain discounts on the product, guys? There's also some kind of analytics kind of implementation into that one. Now, if you look at the banking, right? So in banking and finance sector, right? So, okay, so I mean they implement this kind of I mean technologies in order to find out some kind of money laundering kind of cases, fraud detection. Okay, so likewise there are different kinds of things. I mean, okay, so let us try to understand now all this kind of things here in detail now. So you got some kind of idea, right? So traditional tools weren't able to predict some kind of things or weren't able to classify or give you that kind of future kind of things or better decisions actually. So they were able to give you or tell you what was happening in the data actually. But let's say, for example, if at all I want to, I mean, find out the future sales. For example, now from this figure, if at all I ask you to find out what could be the week four sales. Now in a month we have typically 4 weeks, right? So if I ask you what are the sales in the week four year, now that is some kind of future value, right? So for example, it's some kind of prediction here. All right. So now how do you do it actually? So there are some kind of techniques in achieving this kind of outcomes here. So now let us try to understand what are these kind of techniques here. So from the very basic point of view, so I'll tell you what is AI and what is some other kind of things here. Let us dive deep into this kind of technologies here. Of course, what is AI? So AI, I mean, so you people know, so it is also called artificial intelligence. It is a technology. So in simple terms, I'll tell you, because as I told you, there are a lot of definitions for AI. And again, let me tell you, no one definition, I mean, fits correctly here. Okay. So because AI can do lot of things here actually. So that is why there are a lot of definitions actually. But in simple terms, I'll tell you what is AI. AI is some kind of technology which mimics human intelligence. All right. So just like, I mean, so humans can perceive something, humans can touch something. So humans can, like, say, for example, analyze something, right? Okay. So AI can help you perform all those kind of activities here. All right. So AI refers to the computer systems or machines that can perform complex tasks normally done by human reasoning, decision making, creating. So if you look at this one, right? So this is some kind of technology we implement. Okay, so in order to, I mean, make machines perform certain tasks here. So right in 1950s, right? So for example, if you look at the history of AI, fine. So let me also tell you that one. AI timeline. Okay, so if I take this one, right, whatever it is, okay. So you see there are different kinds of, I mean, examples you get here. But let me see. So 1950, it all started in 1950. Okay, so with Alan Turing. So Alan Turing, I'll also show you. So this was the person actually. So you were the person actually. Okay, Alan Turing. is also termed as the father of this modern AI technology. So even before to that, I mean, so we had different other kind of scientists. So it is not a new technology, guys. Okay, so it is not a new technology, but only that we are able to implement it is because of the rising computer. I mean, like for example, compute resources, and again the storage kind of systems or the processing kind of speeds or whatever you call it. Because see, now let me tell you with a simple example here. Now, for example, you go to some kind of retail store or whatever it is, like an electronic shop here. Okay, so you purchase some kind of laptop. You want to purchase some kind of laptop here. So you have some kind of specific configurations, right? You get some kind of RAM sizes in this way, and again hard disk. Okay, so and again the processors here. Okay, so today we are able to get, the high processors also. Okay, so Intel. Okay, so not even high 12. Okay, we are able to see this kind of process, advanced processors here. Okay, high 12. So which is used for some kind of advanced computing purposes. And of course, even if you look at the GPUs or the graphics kind of things, right, we are able to get even the advanced kind of things also. But let me tell you, so what about 5 years back or 10 years back? Were you able to get the same kind of computing, powers here? No, right? So what about 15 years back? What about, let's say, for example, 30 years back or something? All right, we didn't had enough computing powers, right? Even at the time of Alan Turing, right? So computer was very big actually. Like, say, for example, it was typically size of a room actually. Whatever you're living, right? It was the size of that kind of room actually. So the computers were into this kind of sizes actually. So, but later on, due to the lot of advancements in technology and again the computing needs and again the different kinds of things, right? So things got very smaller, and now we are able to see. So now take the case of your smartphone, guys. Now you are able to, see it is some kind of world, right? You have that world in your hands here. So what it is, so it is capable of doing multiple tasks here. Okay, so you ask it something, it will tell you with some kind of things here. Okay, so of course with the technology AI enabled in that one. All right. So he was the person actually who has started some kind of, at that point of time, right? So he started the concept machine learning. Now we call it as a traditional AI. Of course, I'll tell you, so there are different things here we need to learn. So I'll classify the AI into three different things here. Okay. So traditional AI, of course, the modern AI, and again, generative AI. So we are going to learn all these kind of things here. And of course, I'll also tell you this AI is classified again. There are types of AI. So which we'll discuss here. All right. Now, if you look at here, so he was the actual person who coined the term machine learning. Alan Turing, who coined the term. All right. So coined the term machine learning. All right. Machine learning. Now, at that point of time, right? Okay, so he told this definition long back ago. So, what is machine learning? Machine learning is some kind of, concept where the computers learn through its experiences. All right, computers learn, computers learn through experiences. Experiences. Now, he told this concept long back ago. All right, but many of us, do not know this kind of concept here. And at that point of time, machine learning, the concept of machine learning was very limited. It worked on some kind of rule-based kind of concept. Rule-based concept here. Rule-based kind of concept. Now, what is this rule-based concept is? So it was also called as Turing test also. Okay, so Turing test. Turing test, I can call it. So rule-based concept is nothing, but it was very limited actually, because at that point of time we did not had enough computing resources like storages or processing powers or processing capacities here. Okay. So, but today you are able to, find out any kind of thing. But at that point of time, we did not had enough, technological advancements there. All right. So that is why they worked on this kind of concept here. So what is rule-based concept exactly is? Now it is defined only into some kind of aspects here. So for example, if a computer is trained on some kind of data, it could tell you only about that data. All right. So for example, if I give it some kind of numbers and if I tell it to calculate something, it is restricted to only that particular area. Okay. So unlike today, which is where you can see AI could predict something or AI could even give you some kind of advanced calculations. Or if I ask it like, what are the biggest prime number? Okay. So it could tell you some M51, some kind of thing here. Okay. So that is different here. Okay. But at that point of time, we had some kind of simple kind of devices and machines where this was restricted to some kind of rule-based kind of concept here. So computers, when it was trained on certain aspect, it could tell you only about those kind of things. For example, the best kind of things we could say is calculator. Calculator. Now, calculator. So, for example, if you, for example, now when you type it something, when you, I mean, you can perform some simple calculations, right? Not more than that one. So, I mean, do you see it will able to tell you any kind of predictions? No, right? So that was a perfect example of this rule-based kind of concept here. All right. Now, likewise, I mean, if you look at the AI timeline, right? So there are different technological advancements here. So where, I mean, there are a lot of research and, I mean, activities went out in this kind of field. And again, so popular companies like IBM, Google, and Microsoft, I mean, so they were able to, I mean, carve out some kind of different outcomes from this field. Now we are in certain kind of area, so where we could even, like for example, use some kind of modern, using the case of this modern technology, right? AI, right? So we could able to even predict certain things. We could take informed decisions here. So we can find out, and I mean, we could do a lot of tasks here. All right. So, but again, that is not the future here. But again, I mean, if you ask me, even though we are able to perform all this kind of tasks, right? I could tell, I mean, so we are in the level one itself. There are still certain levels here. Okay, so I'll tell you there are interesting use cases, guys. Now let me tell you. So how does AI work? So AI uses certain principles here. Okay, so it is actually based on the concepts of mathematics and statistics. Okay, so of course, I mean, data is related to these fields, right? So don't think that, okay, so I'm not going deeper into mathematics or any statistical part here, guys. But again, I'll also tell you, you don't require any kind of expertise, kind of knowledge into these areas here. All right. So I'll tell you, I mean, I'll put down the things in as simple ways as possible, even while we learn the course here. All right. So because see, now there are a lot of, I mean, tools, no code tools. Okay. So no code tools or even some kind of auto ML features, both on Azure and, I mean, AWS platform, where you can leverage those kind of features and you can, I mean, perform this task very simply. But again, you have to know, I mean, which algorithm you need to apply. So things about, okay, for example, so let us leave it. So let us try to understand what is, I mean, how does AI work here? So AI uses math and logic, implements human-like cognitive abilities to make predictions or takes actions based on patterns in existing data and can then learn from its errors to increase its accuracy. So as per the Alan Turing kind of concept, right, a machine learning or a computer can understand or it can give you better decisions only when it is able to, I mean, work on large amounts of data. What do you mean that one? So, for example, let's say, so AI is some kind of technology which is just like some kind of human kind of cognitive abilities. What is cognitive abilities here? So, like, say, for example, vision, speech, text, or something, right? Okay. So, just like you think, right? Okay, AI can also think in the same kind of thing. So, that is why we say it mimics human behavior here. All right. So, it can learn from, I mean, the data here. So, now, let's say, for example, if I give it 100 records, right? Okay, it can tell me something. And if I give it some kind of 1,000 records, it can still perform better. And if I give it some kind of million or billions of records, right, it can even predict something. So this is what happens with the AI kind of systems here. Okay. So the more amount of data you give it, or the more amount of data, vast amounts of data you train it actually, okay, it can give you better informed decisions. And again, see, it learns from its experiences, guys. All right. So that is how AI works here. Now, even today, if you see, there are a lot of industries, manufacturing sectors across the globe here. All right, in US and some other parts of the globe. So, guys, please stop this one. I mean, please do not do it. It will be some kind of disturbance, guys. Please kindly remove this one, please. All right. So there are some kind of robots. I mean, okay, so robots are today employed in some kind of industries, especially in manufacturing sectors, so which are able to do certain tasks here. All right. So we'll discuss them later here. All right. A mature AI processes new information extremely quickly and accurately.
Vamshi, was sorry to disturb you. Somebody has crashed the whiteboard. I think you can stop the
Yes,
screen
yes,
share
yes,
and share it again, please. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, you can share.
Guys, please do
Prashant,
not do it. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye. So today, I mean, let me tell you. Okay, so as we have discussed, AI works on the principles of mathematics, and of course, the foundations of AI actually I mean, is mathematics and of course some kind of statistical part. So where you train the data. All right. So where you train the AI model with some kind of data here. So always all we actually train the I mean AI models here. Okay. Train, train using vast amounts of data. Now, what do you think? I mean, your generative AI is able to give you the answers, whatever you're asking it, right? So today we are able to see, I mean, so there is Chat GPT, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, and of course, other kind of generative AI tools, right? Okay, so how they are giving you this kind of answers, how this it is giving you this kind of output, because the reason is they have been trained on vast amounts of data. I can say billions and even trillions of parameters here. Of course, the latest DeepSeek R1, as you people know, that is the latest news, right? So China company DeepSeek, and so their model is R1. So what do you think? I mean, so they told, right? So they, I mean, trained that model on some trillions of parameters there. So that is how these systems are capable to give you some kind of better outcomes here. So that is what I tell you. The more you train that particular model, the better decisions it can give you, or the accuracy would be better here. All right. So that is why we are able to use this kind of advanced systems in this kind of, model world scenarios here. So whether you take it some kind of Tesla cars. Now, Tesla, what do you think Tesla? So how does it work actually? It works on the principles of machine learning and deep learning. All right, it is AI only. Okay. So, but again, deep learning and machine learning are part of AI. All right. So, see, it scans some kind of objects here. And of course, it can even tell you, the machine learning algorithm, it can even, study some kind of GPS navigation here. And it will tell you, in which routes you need to go here. All right. So that is what Tesla runs on actually. So image recognition. Today, if you see, there are a lot of scanners or there are a lot of security systems or other kind of devices which where it can scan some kind of images here. All right. Virtual assistants. Now Siri. All right. So Apple Siri. Okay. So again, you have Amazon Alexa, or you have Microsoft Cortana, or you have, today you see there are different kinds of other kind of AI assistants as well. Chat GPT, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. All these are, what do you think about this one? How they work actually? So all these kind of models, so they work on the same kind of principle. They have been fed with different kinds of data. And again, they have been trained on vast amounts of data with different parameters here. Now, what are parameters is? There are different types here. We'll discuss that later. All right. So, and again, robotics as well. Now, before this, we need to even understand what are the types of AI we have. Okay, so how AI is classified actually. All right. So if you see artificial narrow intelligence, artificial general intelligence, and of course, artificial super intelligence. So these are the three types of AI we have actually. Or AI is classified and categorized into these three types now. Now, what is this, AI about? So AI, artificial narrow intelligence, in simple terms, it's called as AI. All right, because this is what we are into actually. All right, so we are into stage one only or level one only. Okay, so we are yet to go into this kind of stages here. So, but what exactly is this one? So, artificial narrow intelligence is some area of AI where it is being trained on some kind of aspect here, and it will give you some kind of outcomes based on the data that it is being trained on. All right. So what do you mean by this one? So for example, if you take the case of this AI assistants, right? Like Siri, Alexa, Cortana, or some kind of, generative AI applications. Okay. So this, kind of applications falls under this kind of category. All right. So this is where, so we are into actually, because now today, if you look at, right, we are able to predict some kind of things. We are able to take some kind of better decisions here. Okay. So we are able to analyze the data accurately or quickly. Okay. So AI is into this kind of phase here. So whatever you ask it, so you're able to get some kind of answer through some kind of virtual assistants or whatever it is. Okay. Generative AI kind of tools here. So this is how artificial narrow intelligence is about actually. Now, what is this one? Artificial general intelligence. Artificial general intelligence tells you, it refers to a computer that is as smart as human across the board here. So, for example, like playing chess here. Now, in some cases, like, say, for example, if you look at IBM Watson and some other kind of tools, there are certain tools here, not broad tools here. So, but they're still into some kind of research phases, guys. All right. So these kind of AI is similar to a human brain, actually. It is very much similar to a human brain. So you can replace a human with this kind of, AI. All right. So that is what, the research is going on into this kind of phase here. And what about this space? Artificial super intelligence. So artificial super intelligence is some kind of area where AI could adapt to almost all the areas of human life here. So if this becomes, I mean, reality, right? So it is the end of the world, guys, I can tell you. So it's just like your Terminator 3, I mean, you see the right rise of the machines, I mean, 2 and 3, I mean, okay. So it could take over the world, machines will rule the world here. Okay, so I mean, there are researches still going on in this spaces, I mean, so but I mean, we require a lot of other kind of computing powers actually. We do not have such kind of computing powers as of now. Because see, now if you look at, I mean, right from 1950s, now we are able to, I mean, use AI properly actually. I mean, that too in a beginner level actually. So it took almost all, I mean, like for example, 50 to 70 years as of now. Okay, so I mean, so that we are capable to use some part of AI actually. All right. So, but again, in this kind of stages, right, it would require another 100 to 200 kind of years actually in order to come up with this kind of, I mean, things here. Of course, not 200, but again, 100, I could say. All right. But again, I mean, it requires a lot of, computing powers actually, a lot of things actually. All right. Fine. So that was about the types of AI. Okay. So, I mean, now, again, let us try to understand the cognitive abilities of AI and how these cognitive abilities are applied in real world scenarios and what are the, like, for example, I'll tell you with real world examples here. All right. So AI implements human-like behaviors, also called cognitive functions that include vision. Now, for example, you could see some kind of security scanners, right? So some kind of, organizations or some kind of outlets. I mean, so you could see there are some kind of security scanners here. All right. So vision. So they can identify and detect objects here. So even if you take the case of Tesla car, right? So Tesla car could able to easily identify what exactly, I mean, what kind of object it is actually. So whether it is a car moving on, or whether it is any kind of automobile moving onto the road, or whether it is any kind of person that is okay. So I mean, moving on actually. All right. So it can detect some kind of things here. So what do you think? I mean, so how they are able to detect this one? So in the backgrounds, I mean, these kind of systems, right? They are being trained on some kind of advanced technologies like deep learning and some advanced machine learning kind of techniques here. And again, speech. So today, if you look at, right, you have some kind of chatbots, have some kind of different bots and assistants where you can speak to that one. For example, Siri. All right, Apple Siri. Now you can even speak to that one, so it will respond to your voice kind of things here. All right. So even Google search also. Now, popularly when Google search was first launched in the market, right? Okay, so in 1990s, I mean, okay. So for example, at that point of time, right? Google search engine was just simply a search engine. It didn't add any kind of this kind of advanced features here. But now you could easily see, for example, you could even search through some kind of image also. For example, if I search, you can search by image, you can even speak to this one. All right. So this capabilities were not included when this was actually launched in the market here. When first Google was actually launched in the market here, they didn't add this kind of things here. And again, let me also tell you. So what do you think? I mean, this Google search engine is made up of. So have you ever wondered like for example, if I'm typing it, if I'm asking it something, right, it is able to give me the, related websites or whatever the content I want to see here. So how does it work actually? All right. So in the background, some kind of powerful machine learning algorithms is being trained on this kind of platform actually. All right. So Google search engine is nothing but it is some kind of powerful advanced kind of machine learning algorithm. All right. So where, I mean, see, what are the key, words you type it, right? Those are called as keywords here. All right. And what it does is, I mean, so what are the information you're able to, type it, right? So it actually works on that kind of algorithm and it will, give you the results based on some kind of page ranks and see, there'll be some kind of page ranks to every websites here. All right. So that is how it will be able to give you. So in the background, they'll be using some kind of spiders or crawlers here. Okay. And those things will be exactly working on this kind of algorithms here. So that is how it is able to give you the results here, fetch you the results here. All right. So now again, earring. So bots and AI assistants today can hear something and it can even respond to you in some kind of with some kind of outcomes here. Language generation. So today you can see, like, so for example, you take the case of Google Translator, right? So you can translate one language into another here. All right. So that is some kind of language generation here. And again, learning. So AI can even learn a new skill also. It can learn some kind of language. It can learn some kind of programming kind of thing. So that is how it is able to give you. Now, for example, if I ask it some kind of simple code like generate me a Python code where, I want to add two numbers here. So it will quickly give you some kind of result here. So it's some kind of code here. So that's how it is able to learn and generate the results here. Just a minute. Yeah, we'll go Vaibhav. Okay, so what is machine learning and what is deep learning? So we'll discuss about that one. We are into, going to that one. Okay, so we're still into some kind of AI kind of things here. Okay, fine. Analytical thinking abilities. Now, AI can uncover patterns and trends in the data also. Okay, so today, if you look at the modern AI, right? So it can even detect some kind of patterns in the data, and it can even, find out some kind of trends in the data also. So natural language processing. So natural language processing is the kind of technology behind your chatbots, behind your language generation, behind your generative AI kind of concepts here. All right. So this is the one of the language behind your chatbots here. Because see, you might be asking it. See, for example, now if you take the case of Google, right, you can search it in different kinds of languages, right? Not just in English even. All right. So that is what is the power of this kind of technology here. All right. And again, memory. So it could even recognize something. It could even identify something. It can even recollect something also. Reasoning. So reasoning is where it would apply some kind of analytical capabilities on some kind of data. So when it is properly trained. So now if you look at, right, so these are some kind of cognitive abilities which we humans have, right. So we can see the things, we can hear something, we can talk something. Okay, so we can analyze certain things here. Okay, so all these things your AI could mimic, able to mimic here. So okay, so these are the cognitive abilities of AI. Now, again, if you look at the examples of AI, right? So today, and these are only some simple examples, guys. Okay, so but again, let me tell you, there are a lot and lot of examples today. So where in real world examples, I'm telling you. All right. So self-driving cars, of course, you can take the case of Tesla and of course, Waymo. And again, so today Apple and again IBM is also, Mercedes-Benz and some other kind of automobile companies also are coming up with the concept of the self-driving cars here. All right. So again, bots and digital assistants. So today you have different kinds of Gen AI applications and of course, different bots here. It could be ChatGPT, Siri, or any other kind of things. Recommendation systems, these are popularly used in some kind of e-commerce and retail kind of things here. Now, for example, when you search for something over Amazon, right? So you might have seen here. Okay, so Amazon.com. Okay, so it is asking me something. Fine. So, okay, let me tell you. Now, when you search for something, right? So, you also, when you purchase something, right, it will also show you some kind of recommendations, right? So, people who have bought this kind of product have also purchased so and so kind of product. These kind of recommendations you might have seen on Amazon. Okay, so these are the common things here. And again, spam filters. So, your Gmail, is made up of this kind of algorithm. So, where it identifies based on certain keywords, right? It will direct the mails to your inbox or to your spam folder here. Okay, so some kind of machine learning algorithm works behind here. Search engines. Now, just now we have discussed what is Google search engine made up of. Smart home technology. So we are living with some kind of IoT devices, right? So where with the help of some kind of auto kind of devices, you are able to, switch on, switch off some kind of, fans or whatever it is. Okay, so you are able to do this with smart home technology. So again, health data analysis. So today, if you take it right, healthcare industry. So they are using AI in order to detect some kind of cancer and some other kind of diseases or tumors or again certain kind of heart diseases and certain other kind of things here. All right. Robotics, of course, these robotics are trained on certain data and they are deployed into different environments here. So we in AI, we call it as an environment, guys. All right. So we call it as an environment. Right. So because see, environment is different here. For example, let me tell you. Now, if you take the case of, let's say, for example, I'll tell you a real case study. So, countries like US, India, Israel, and some other Russia and some other kind, China. Of course, there are different countries here. So they are training some kind of robots in war environments. All right. So again, let's say, for example, now what is this environment? I'll tell you about. Now, how things happen here. Let me tell you about. So, for example, if I make a robot to work in my kitchen, right, it could understand only that kind of environment here. All right. So that is what is artificial narrow intelligence here. So whatever the data you train it today, okay, so it could help. I mean, it could give you the outcomes based on only the environment and the data that is being trained on actually. So for example, if I ask it to make some kind of, a recipe, so it could immediately do that one. And if I ask it to bring some kind of cup of coffee, I mean, it could help me. Okay, so in that kind of things here. But again, if the same kind of robo, which has been trained in an kitchen area, all right. So if I ask it to, I mean, like, for example, pluck some kind of flowers or bring some kind of fruits from the market, it doesn't actually. All right. So that is what the present AI is into. Of course, but I mean, at least we're able to perform this kind of activity. So that is why even if you look at some kind of industrial kind of robots, right? So they are trained on that kind of warehouses here. All right. If you look at Amazon warehouses across the globe, right? So there they are using certain kinds of bots and certain kinds of robots there. All right. Industrial robots, we call it as. All right. So they are being trained on that kind of environment here. Fine. So if you look at the benefits of using AI around the clock availability, because we humans, I mean, we could not be present almost all the times of the day. All right. So here machines are working actually, and they're able to, I mean, give you the results here. Communication at scale. So today, if you look at, there are a lot of devices, lot of assistants, and lot of things which are able to communicate to you. And again, faster, more accurate decisions, so even they're better than humans in making some kind of decisions because the kind of data or the vast amounts of data that they are being trained on. Automation of repetitive tasks. Your AI can also automate the task for you. All right. So that is what we are able to do I mean, today. And again, more relevant recommendations here. Okay. So it could also recommend you something. All right. It could be anything. It could be some kind of products here, or it could be some kind of Netflix series here, or it could be some other kind of things here. All right. So these are the, I mean, these are only few benefits. I mean, so likewise, there are a lot of benefits actually. Now let us try to understand the AI and its subfields here. So we still, and see, until now we have understood what is AI, right? In a broader way, we have understood what is AI. All right. So AI is some kind of technology which mimics human behavior here. Okay, we have understood. But exactly what are the technologies that runs actually? So how this bots or how this robots or how this, like for example, different advanced processing systems or analytical systems are able to, I mean, process or and give you better decisions just because of this kind of subfields here. So AI is classified, I mean, into these kind of things also: machine learning, deep learning, data science, and of course, generative AI. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of AI and builds a model based on training data to make predictions here. All right. So for example, you have some kind of data with you. Now you want to predict something, or you want to classify something, or you want to cluster, or you want to separate the data based on certain patterns in the data. Okay. So that is what is machine learning here. All right. So for example, you have different kinds of data with you. Now I want to predict some kind of value. Likewise, I showed you this one, right? For example, I want to predict what is week four sales here. So this is what you can do with a machine learning, guys. Okay, this is where a machine learning algorithm is applied. And again, if you look at deep learning, right? So deep learning again is a subset of machine learning, but of course there is some kind of difference. We'll also discuss that one. So which is able to solve some complex problems where ML, tends to failure actually. So what is this one? We'll discuss that one. And again, data science. So data science is a combination of all these kind of fields here. So you apply some kind of advanced statistical methods and of course some kind of statistics and of course some kind of ML techniques in order to uncover the things and find out some kind of better informed decisions. All right. So this is what is data science actually. Now let us see in detail what is machine learning, what it is capable of, and what it can do for you. So machine learning, right? It is considered as a subset of artificial intelligence. Okay, so it is one of the technology of AI. So as I told you, AI is a vast kind of thing. So where different technologies are implemented here. So one of the technologies of AI is machine learning. So of course, which is a very powerful kind of things here. All right. So ML is the process of using mathematical models of data to help a computer learn without direct instruction. So what we do here is, now, in case of machine learning, right, as per the words of Alan Turing also, so what is machine learning is? Machine learning, so where we call it as a model in terms of machine learning, all right? In terms of model, so we call it as a model here in terms of machine learning. So what we do here is we try to train that model continuously actually with different kinds of data. For example, let me also show you here in a simple terms here. So what is machine learning? So for example, now I want to find the square of a numbers here. So what do you do, guys? For example, as you people know, for example, what is 2? Sorry. So 2 into 2. So what is this one? What is this one? So you know it is 4 here. All right. So it is 4 here. But again, so I want to find, like for example, I want to train some kind of machine learning kind of simple model. So where it could able to find out the squares of numbers. So whatever I give it actually. So for example, in mathematics, what we do, so we write some kind of function like f of x equal to some kind of, x square here. All right. So this is the function. Now what we do, so this is some kind of ML model here. So this is how we train some kind of model here. Okay. Now I feed it some kind of random numbers here. All right. I train this kind of model on this kind of aspect here. So for example, it could be 2, it could be 3, or it could be 7, whatever it is. Okay. And finally, it will give you the desired output, that is x square here. All right. So this is what a machine learning is trained. Now in machine learning, what happens is we continuously train this kind of model here. All right. We train this model with different kinds of data here. So unless and until it is capable of learning this kind of things accurately, right? So we continuously train it actually. So that is what machine learning is about. So we continuously feed it some kind of data. And again, we actually train that kind of model. And again, we test that model with different kinds of algorithms here. So whether it is able to give you the, accurate answers or accurate output or not here. So till it gives you some kind of accurate results, right? So we train it continuously actually. So this is what happens in some kind of machine learning models here. All right. So now let us look at this. So machine learning uses algorithms to identify patterns within data. And those patterns are then used to create a data model that can make predictions here. See, look at this definition. Machine learning uses algorithms to identify patterns within data. Now, for example, see, now what it does is here. So for example, f of x equal to x square here. All right. So meaning if I pass it any kind of number, right, it would apply to this kind of function and it would give me the result as 4 here. So for example, if it is 3, it would give me, so it is 2, it is 4 here. It is 3, so it is 3 to 3 is 9. Okay. And again, so again, similarly, it will give you the other kind of numbers, I mean. Okay. So likewise, you train it, I mean, so it will give you the, result accordingly. Okay. So now it will identify this kind of pattern here. So what is this pattern here? It is x square here. It will identify this pattern when it is continuously learning something. So similarly, just like we humans learn, right? Okay, so we say that, so practice makes a man perfect here. Okay, so by rigorous practice, right, you will be, familiar with that kind of concept here. Just similar to that, machine learning also works in the same kind of concept here. So depending upon the kind of data that you feed it and the kind of continuous training you give it, right, it would give you better results here. So this is what a machine learning algorithm can identify or can give you the better outcomes here. So those patterns are then used to create a data model that can make predictions here. Okay. With increased data and experience, the results of machine learning are more accurate, much like how humans improve with more practice here. So just like I told you, so we humans, so we'll be perfect when we are able to perform certain tasks, right, accurately, right? That means we have been familiar with that kind of task here or that concept here. So behind that one, we have worked with that kind of concept in multiple ways and multiple, times here. So this is what even an ML model could able to give you here. So the more you train it, the more you give it some kind of data, the better informed decisions or accurate decisions it will give you. So this is what is this, machine learning about. So now how machine learning is related to AI? So it is related to AI. So of course, it is a field of AI. I can say it is a subset of AI. But again, see, an intelligent computer thinks like a human and carries out tasks on its own here. So one way to train a computer to mimic human reasoning is to use a neural network, which is a series of algorithms that are modeled after the human brain here. So how these machine learning works is, so as I told you, they work on some kind of math and some kind of stats kind of concepts here. All right. And let's say, for example, so they use some kind of different, algorithms in order to find out patterns in the data or in order to classify certain things or in order to predict some things here. All right. So that's how these, things work here. And of course, see, as I told you, you need to continuously train it and you need to more amounts of data you give it, more number of times you train it, the better decisions will be. So this is what is AI capable of actually. So if you look at here, so machine learning today is used in real world, scenarios, guys. So If you know or don't know, I don't know. But again, let me tell you. So that is what I told you. So directly or indirectly, you're using AI. All right. Because see, when you're searching for something over Google search, or when you're trying to, purchase some kind of product over Amazon, right? You're indirectly using AI, guys. Because see, the system is recommending you some kind of products here based on the previous searches. For example, you might have interested in purchasing some kind of New Balance shoes here, all right, New Balance or Adidas or some kind of shoes here, all right. So, for example, now what happens here is, so that system will recommend you some similar products, okay, so where the customers have also purchased certain other products in combination with that. All right. So based upon its relevance, right? Based upon its history, right? Okay. So history means the past data. All right. So it will give you the enough recommendations here. All right. Likewise, so now machine learning is implemented, in different areas of our life here. All right. So whether you take it facial recognition or whether you take it product recommendations, as I told you in the case of retail kind of things or e-commerce kind of things, or email automation. Now, email automation, like, say, for example, now if you take the case of your Gmail, right? How Gmail is able to direct you all the mails to your inbox or to your spam. Now you could even see some kind of messages which are stored in some kind of spam, right? How Gmail is filtering those kind of things here. So Gmail is trained on some kind of machine learning algorithm. So where it finds out certain keywords from that mail here. So based on that keywords, right? If it finds some kind of, some keywords which are not relevant actually. All right. So it will redirect it to spam here. All right. And again, see financial accuracy. Now, if you take the case of financial accuracy, right? These banking and again, this insurance. Okay. So these are using this kind of, machine learning techniques in order to improve and again, come up with better decisions and improve the accuracy actually. And if, for example, some kind of application, I'll tell you credit card fraud detection or money laundering kind of cases. All right. So these are the popular kind of things, so where these techniques are implemented today. And of course, if you look at the social media optimization, right? So social media optimization also, whether you take it Instagram or whether you take it, for example, Meta, okay, X, all these are now using AI features in order to automatically identify the post that you are posting. And again, so in order to identify the people who are discussing some kind of common topics, and again, the relevance they are giving you in such ways here. But again, healthcare, if you see, so medical records able to detect some kind of cancer or some kind of tumors or some kind of heart diseases or some other kind of diseases. Okay. Speech recognition. So if you take the case of this AI assistants, bots, and other kind of things, they're able to speak to you. And again, autonomous vehicles today, if you see Tesla, Waymo, and some other kind of automobile companies, so they are rolling out some kind of self-driving cars. All right. Now it is a practical thing, right? So people are in, see, machine learning is implemented in different ways here. So you're able to see machine learning, all this kind of applications in your real life here. All right. So, but see, how they're trained is something different here. So you need to go deeper into some kind of technical aspects. But these are the present kind of things which are going on in real life today. All right. So now, if you look at the techniques of machine learning, right? So popularly, machine learning is based on three techniques here: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. So in simple terms, I'll tell you what is this kind of, things here. I'll not go much detail into this one, but supervised learning is where now we have some kind of data. We exclusively, instruct it to perform some kind of task here. All right. So just like I told you here, so for example, now this is some kind of model here. All right. So this is some kind of model here. So I instruct my, I instruct my machine learning to perform certain tasks based on this kind of model here. So I train the data on this kind of model here. All right. So likewise, supervised learning addresses data sets with labels or structure here. So I know what is the outcome of my, like, for example, my model here, because see, I want the output in this way. Now, I know what is the output, right? So for example, what is X square? If I feed it any kind of number, right, it would result with the square of that number. I know this one. But again, I need to train the data here, right? I need to train that model here on the different data here. Okay. So that is what is supervised learning. So that means with human supervision, so we instruct a machine or we instruct a computer to learn and identify the patterns here. So in simple terms, this is what is supervised learning here. All right. So I'll also tell you, let me show you here. For example, supervised learning process here. Okay. So you have some kind of known data. All right. But see, you want that machine to identify, because if I give it some kind of random kind of fruit or some kind of things, right, it should able to identify what kind of object it is or what kind of fruit it is. So what we do in this kind of cases, so for example, I feed it some kind of known data. So I implement certain kind of ML algorithm. So where I train it, even before I train it, I perform certain kind of pre-processing kind of techniques here. All right, in order to identify the data. And later on, I process some kind of data, and I again what I do is I evaluate it with some kind of trained model here, because how well it has learned, I need to put some kind of test, right? So just like we humans, I mean, so we have some kind of test in our examinations in our semesters or some kind of colleges, college days also, right? School days and college days. So now what is the test about? Evaluation process, right? So how much well you have learned here, with what accuracy you have learned here. So based upon that one, you will be given certain ranks and marks, right? In the same way, a machine learning model is also fed the same kind of things here. So first of all, we train that one. All right. Then what we do, we test it using some kind of random data. So then it should able to give you the accurate results here. So it should able to tell you that it is an apple and it is not a mango. All right. So if it is doing that kind of accuracy, if it is able to give you such kind of accuracy, then we call it as a better, I mean, model here. All right, better ML model here. So then it can be deployed in various kind of applications here. So this is what happens in real world situations, guys. So even before we try to implement or we try to install or we try to adapt it to some kind of environment, right? We continuously train that one and we test it. All right. So and again, we look out for the accuracy. So this is what goes on actually. So unsupervised learning, addressing data sets without any labels or structure, finding patterns and relationships by grouping data into clusters here. So one, I mean, see, one comparison between this supervised and unsupervised learning is, here you know the outcome here. All right, here you know the outcome. Here I do not know the outcome here. Okay, so but again I need to figure out what exactly it is. All right. So now, I'll not go deeper into this labels or any kind of things here. Okay, so we'll learn it later. Fine. So in simple terms, here I know the outcome here, but here I do not know. But again, I need to, train my ML model in different ways here. So what we do is I have some kind of different data here. Again, I implement certain ML algorithm. As I told you, I train it with different algorithms here. All right. Then again, test it here actually. So it need to identify the patterns here. That means it need to classify what is apple and what is mango here. All right. So this is what is unsupervised learning. So that means without any human supervision, the computer, or let's say for example, the ML model will try to identify the patterns in the data. And as I told you, the more amount of data, here we call it as parameters here. So now when I speak about billions or trillions of parameters, right? So what is a parameter here? For example, how does apple look like? It has some kind of color. It has a red color. That is one kind of parameter here. So that is a parameter, guys. Red color is some kind of parameter. And again, let's say, for example, what is its size here? So how does it look like actually? All right. So now how does mango look like actually? So what is that kind of color? So that is again another parameter here. No, 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 it doesn't produce false results here. Okay, so it doesn't produce false results because see, if it is able to produce false result, that means you have not trained it properly. So you have to train it accordingly and again with large amounts of data. So that is what I told you. Continuously, you have to train it actually. So it is an iterative process here. All right. It's an iterative process. All right. So the better you train it, the better accuracy it gives you. This is what goes with all the ML models and DL models also. Of course, DL is somewhat advanced to ML actually. So we'll discuss also. All right. Now, what is
So
reinforcement
Vamshi,
learning?
in the interest of time, so can we a little bit speed up,
Yes,
and
yes,
then
of
we'll take
course.
more question and answers. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Fine, fine. All right. Okay. So reinforcement learning is some kind of AI. So where, as I told you, robotics comes under this kind of concept here. So in the field of environment, right? Okay. So we call robot is an agent here. All right. And again, environment could be anything. It could be, as I told you, some kind of kitchen or some kind of war zone or some kind of industrial area. So where it is able, being trained on actually. So this is an agent here actually. So it is a pure form of AI. All right. And again, how ML works to solve problems here. So basically, there is some kind of process here actually behind your ML kind of things here. So data collection, data pre-processing. So data pre-processing is about again, transforming your data, cleaning your data. Because see, even null value, if it is there, so it would not give you some kind of better result here. Okay. So likewise, we train it accordingly. So again, model evaluation, as I told you, after training, you have to evaluate and test it actually, then finally deployment. All right. So this is the process, guys. And again, deep learning, if you look at, right? So deep learning is a kind of machine learning technology which is inspired by your human brain, by our human brain. Now, if you see in our human brain, we have the concept of these neurons, right? So, for example, if you're able to speak, if you're able to take certain action here, if you're able to identify certain things here, your neurons sends you that's kind of signals here. All right. So, for example, you have to walk here. I mean, for example, you have to run there. I mean, okay. So it will even see, for example, you have looked at certain barking dog here. So you thought of running here. But that kind of information, that kind of signal, it will send you in your brain actually that you have to run now actually. Okay. So it is exactly inspired by this kind of things here. Now remember one thing, when we were in our childhood days, right? Okay, so how did you learn, guys? I mean, whatever things it is, you were able to continuously feed some kind of things, right? You were able to learn in this way: a for apple, a for apple, a for apple, b for ball, b for ball. Continuously you are able to learn this one. So what happens with that one is it will pass some kind of information to your brain that okay, so apple looks similarly in this way. All right. And a means it is for apple only. All right. So B means like, for example, it has ball and it has some kind of figure actually. Okay. So you train it actually accordingly. So in the same way, deep learning also works in the same way. All right. So for example, deep learning is I mean, see deep learning works on some kind of neural networks kind of concept here, artificial neural networks here. All right. And we call it as artificial neural networks. Now, what happens here is, so we continuously train it actually. All right. With different parameters here. And again, so especially it is used in some kind of advanced kind of processing kind of things like image detection, speech, voice. Okay, so these kind of detections you see, deep learning is involved here. And again, even as I told you in Tesla cars also, if it is able to identify certain images or certain objects on the road, so it is, I mean, nothing but this is deep learning technology that is involved in that kind of machine actually. All right. So because see, I mean, deep learning works exactly like your human brain. So we have to continuously feed it some kind of data. And again, so especially for example, now you want to find out if it is a cat or a dog. So what we do? So we train it that kind of I mean, deep learning model in such a way that I mean, give it some kind of features here. So, I mean, see, now if you look at the case of ears, for example, cat ears will be somewhat small. I mean, when compared to dog ears, I mean, okay. So likewise, we train it in different aspects here. All right. And again, if you look at the applications of deep learning, right? So today you can see, I mean, image, speech, and video processing kind of application, chatbots, I mean, digital assistants like your AI assistants here. Okay. So again, game playing kind of thing, online games here, robotics, I mean, control systems or security systems here, tailored experiences in the sense. Now, for example, if you take the case of Netflix, Netflix recommends you some kind of web series or movies based on the interest or based on the movies or some kind of things you're watching. Okay, so those are kind of tailored experiences. Even in recommendation systems are also part of this kind of things here. Self-driving cars, as I told you, so identifying or detecting some kind of objects here. And again, say for example, ML. I mean, if you what is the difference between ML and DL? I think Vaibhava asked me. Okay, so now let me tell you. See, ML and at some point of time, ML, I mean, you have to train it continuously. You have to train it continuously, which large amounts of data here. But deep learning is not like that because it actually applies the concept of this neural networks, which is an advanced concept of this machine learning techniques here. All right. So with minimal data also, it could able to give you some kind of better results here. So that is part of some kind of ML area. So because here there are different things here. So for example, normally we go with certain data here. Okay, so like images, audio, video kind of things here. And we find out the patterns accordingly here. All right. All right. So, but machine learning, you have to continuously train that model in different aspects here. You have some kind of data, you have that model here. I have to continuously feed that data to it actually. Okay. I have to make it learn this kind of formula here, f of x equal to x square. Only then it could able to give you the better decisions. Likewise. All right. Now, so what is the difference here? Neural networks are generally more complex and capable of operating more independently than regular machine learning models. So for example, a neural network is able to determine on its own whether its predictions and outcomes are accurate, while a machine learning model would require the input of a human engineer to make that distinction here. This is what the difference is. So you have to evaluate it, you have to, I mean, supervise it. Okay, so only then it could give you the result here. But deep learning is not like that. It can even sense what could be the outcome, what could be the accuracy here. All right. Again, additionally, neural networks are structured so that the neural network can continue to learn and make intelligent decisions on all on its own. Machine learning models, on the other hand, are limited to decision making based only on what it has specifically been trained on. This is what the difference here is. So what you specifically train it for, it can give you that kind of result here. So for example, in this case, so if I train it on different kinds of data, right? Like for example, different kinds of numbers, it can give you only that kind of result set here. All right. If I give it any other kind of data, it would fail here. All right. So this is what is ML actually. Now DL is something different. So I mean that is why it is used in some kind of I mean advanced applications like your autonomous vehicles like self-driving cars and some kind of images and scanners accordingly. Because see, it could identify what is some kind of object. I mean, okay, so by feeding it some kind of data actually. Now, what is generative AI? So now we have came to our discussion. So what is generative AI? Generative AI is a form of artificial intelligence in which models are trained to generate new original content based on natural language input. So the language behind this one is again NLP, or in other terms, we also call it as LLMs, large language models. All right. So what are you able to see this? I mean, if this Chat GPT, Google Gemini, okay, so Microsoft Copilot and other kind of, generative AI applications, right? The language behind them is LLMs, large language models here. So those models are actually trained on vast amounts of data, billions and trillions of parameters, guys. Only then they are able to give you, I mean, now what is the exact difference between this AI and this generative AI, this modern AI is, that means the generative AI could create something like, for example, the user content. For example, it could create you some kind of images. It could able to give you some kind of audio. It could able to write you some kind of resume for you, or it could able to write you some kind of cover letter or some, any other kind of thing. It can simply create something, user defined content. I'm not telling that it could create anything. It could create only some simple user defined content here. All right. But AI, on the other hand, if you look at AI, right, the difference is there you can use modern AI to, analyze certain data, all right, predict some kind of things here, okay, and perform certain other activities based on the data that you train it actually. All right. But again, these systems are helpful to you in some kind of ways. Like, for example, you can use it for some kind of user generation kind of things here. All right. So, like, say, for example, text, images, music, audio, videos kind of things here. So people typically interact with generative AI using prompts that has been built into chat applications here. So for example, it could be anything here. Chat applications means, so all these are chat-based kind of applications only. Even your Chat GPT, Google Gemini, okay, so Microsoft Copilot. How do you ask it? So whatever you ask it, right? So that is a prompt actually. That is called as a prompt here. So they work on that kind of things here. All right. And again, see, now we're not typing it something, right? We're not asking it something, right? So already it has been trained on that platform. Okay, so with billions of parameters here. So how do they train it actually? So we have some kind of public data which is available on the internet, right? So they use that data in order to train this kind of models here. So huge amounts of public data here. So applications like ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, and AI-powered productivity tools designed to enhance your work experience by providing real-time intelligence and assistance here. Parameters means inputs. Of course, as I told you, now in parameters, simply like I'll tell you. Now, what is apple? It is a fruit, right? But if I ask you the parameters, parameters means it has certain color here. It could be red color. It could be, for example, green color. So that is a parameter. All right. So likewise, each and every object will be having certain parameters here. All right. So in simple terms, generative AI is nothing but generate with the help of AI. All right. So what it generates here, it text, images, audio, video, certain kind of code. Okay. So these are the things it is able to generate. All right. In simple terms, it is nothing but generate plus AI. Okay. So with the help of AI. So LLMs, as I told you, is the language behind this generative AI. So we'll discuss this later. Because we need to go certain deeper into that. So traditional AI was modern AI was generative AI. So if you look at the differences between these three, right? So now I'll tell you. So traditional AI refers to the early stages of AI with its origins in 1950s when Alan Turing introduced the concept of machine learning. So I told you, right, in 1950s, he has, described this, he has coined this terminology, machine learning. And again, at that point of time, we had some kind of Turing test, which was actually this rule-based systems here. So this era focused on role-based systems where computers followed pre-programmed instructions to perform specific tasks, such as playing chess or solving basic problems. So I told you the case of calculator. Now it has already been trained on that kind of role-based systems here. Only then it could able to tell you, so for example, you calculate something, it will easily tell you what is that kind of figure here. All right. Now modern AI. So modern AI uses advanced methods like machine learning and deep learning to go beyond limitations of traditional AI. These new methods allow computers to analyze data, learn patterns, and make predictions without needing step-by-step instructions for each task. Modern AI can handle more complex problems and is now used in fields like healthcare, finance, and manufacturing. On the other hand, if you look at the case of Gen AI, so Gen AI is a newer form of AI that stands out from traditional AI in one big way. It creates. That is what I told you. It can create something for you. User defined content here. All right. Instead of just analyzing existing data, generative AI models like LLMs can generate new content from text to images based on patterns they have learned from massive amounts of data. For example, Genai can write entire articles, generate images, or even assistant product design by creating prototypes here. Okay, so these are the things it can do for you. So if you look at the evolution of AI, right? So we had this early stages of AI. Then we in the advancement due to the advancement of this, AI field. So we are, able to use this kind of machine learning kind of thing today. This is modern AI. Machine learning and deep learning is some kind of modern AI. So this is the traditional AI. Now, of course, today you can see this kind of latest kind of AI. That is generative AI. All right. So popular LLMs or Gen AI tools, if you see from OpenAI, we have this GPT. So that is what it is called as Chat GPT. And again, DAL-E. So which is again some kind of LLM for generating images. From Google, we have this Gemini, so which is one of the powerful tool till now, until now. Again, we have Bard, BERT, and again Palm 2. Microsoft 5.2, sorry, 5.3, sorry. And again, Meta, so Llama, Grok, XAI. So Grok, see, Grok is some kind of LLM actually. So XAI is some kind of LLM tool from Elon Musk company. All right, so this is, organization of Elon Musk actually. Hugging Face, Bloom, Mistral AI, and Anthropic. So these are the popular tools right now. Of course, now today again we are able to see DeepSeek, right? So which is one of the Chinese company, and their model is R1. All right. So conclusion, I can tell you in this way. Traditional AI was effective for specific tasks but lacked adaptability. As I told you, it was purely based on some kind of rule-based systems here. Machine learning revolutionized AI by allowing systems to learn and improve from experience. So it can only learn through its experiences. Deep learning further pushed AI's limits, enabling breakthroughs in image and speak recognition. Generative AI takes AI a step further by creating new content, unlocking endless possibilities in industries like design, entertainment, and customer service. All right. So this is what is AI and generative AI. Hope you got some kind of understanding about all these kind of technologies here. So now, yes, Shahid.
Okay, what I will make everyone unmute so that if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask.
All right,
Saeed, go
sir.
ahead.
Yeah. Miss, thanks for the lecture. This is I've been talking about this coach for a very long time, and but one thing I said I could understand from this is that this generative AI, I think, is the like solution to make our work faster right now
Right. Yep. Yep.
instead of instead of uh instead of using our brain for everything. This could come as a tool for help, whether we are a scrum master, a product owner, PMI, or whatever that is maybe whatever career that you choose on to be, right?
It is very, very important, Sahid. So irrespective of whatever the careers, it is important to embrace this AI. Look, as a Scrum Master or Product Owner, you may not be building the new AI because this course is mainly targeted for the AI engineers. So as a Scrum Master, you don't need this level of knowledge, but you should understand
Uh,
how to use the AI and make your activities very efficient.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
need the engineering,
Right,
the
right. Yep,
engineering
yep.
part.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't need to. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
what I need is the application that is applicable to
Yeah.
wherever that I'm doing.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. That
and
I will be covering
okay,
in a different training, not here. Okay, Sai?
oh, okay, sir.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Vamsi, please go ahead. You are showing some World Economic Forum, the latest report. Vamsi, you are on mute.
Sorry. Fine. Okay, so last month we had this World Economic Forum. Okay, so kind of event which was held in Davos, Switzerland last month, January 2025 itself. Okay, so you can see this is one of the body of UN, and again, so they gave some kind of interesting reports here. So I would like to show you one such kind of report. So what are the future of jobs actually, and again, what kind of trend the world is following, and where the trend is actually now. So I'll show you this kind of things. So you can see there are new jobs, 170 million jobs have been created. And out of this, so these jobs are remaining same. And again, these jobs have been displaced here. So meaning it is not that, AI is actually misplacing you or something. So the persons, who can use AI, who will use AI, okay, so will replace your job. That is its meaning actually. Okay. So now you can look, you can read this one, guys. Five jobs of the future. So you can understand the importance of this kind of field because see, today AI is involved. And again, as I told you, you are directly or indirectly using AI. All right. And as I told you today, there are many real world examples which we have discussed in this session here. Okay. So where AI is used today in different areas and different domains or different industries or whatever it is. Okay. So in different perspectives. All right. So today you can see, some of the jobs are growing fast in percentage terms. Demand for roles driven by technological advancements such as artificial intelligence is quickly increasing. These jobs include big data specialists, fintech engineers, and AI and ML learning specialists. All right. So two participants raised hands. Please, guys, go on. So this is the report. Again, so I would also show you some other kind of things, guys. So just a minute. Yes, please go on. Sonia. I think you have some kind of question, so please, you can
Oh
ask.
no, I think Coach Lakshmi answered it. But he said Friday and Saturday nights. I just wanted to know the time
Yes.
for the classes and how
The
many
time,
hours.
right. So the we are designing this program, the detailed program. We have seen in 1 hour how much we learn. So this is how the learning is going to be for 13 weekends. The classes are going to be Friday night, Saturday night for people from USA, and Saturday morning and Sunday morning for people from India and Australia. Okay, Sonia, the timing is going to be mostly your time, 7:30 in the evening to 11:30. Sorry, 7:30 to 10:30. 3 hours on
Okay.
Friday, 3 hours on Saturday.
Are we going to have a break, Coach?
Oh yeah, of course break. Yeah, with breaks, of course, without yeah, with that. So we
Okay.
will have 1.5 hour and a break, 1.5 hour, and it's going to be practically hands-on as well. Vamshi is going to help us how in real time to do the practicals. And this is the feature we have seen, and you are seeing already on the screen that is displayed by Vamshi, fastest growing. So AI is in the top of the list. Sorry, Vamshi, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I'll also show the content, guys. Okay, so first of all, before this, I want to show you a few things here. So as you, can see this here. So it was the report given by WEF, World Economic Forum. So last month, okay. So, see, you can see AI is on top of this, the jobs, that is the trend actually, which is going on. All right. And in the near world, near future also, you can see AI will rule the world. Of course, today, again, it is ruling actually. So yes, of course. So we'll have some other kind of webinar where because I need to even tell you some other kind of things as well. So again, okay. So someone has asked me the contents, right? So guys, here I've given you. This contents will brief you about all the things that is required in order to become and make you an AI engineer here. So artificial intelligence, machine learning, and Gen AI engineer training program. So which is purely based on this cloud kind of things also. Yes, of course. We'll also look at the hands-on part. I'll tell you. So Azure AI/ML. All right. So 3 months of hands-on technology is of course 3 to 4 months. So based upon your comfortness. And again, so if you look at, the technologies or the things which we'll be learning, I'll give you a quick glance on this one. So what we'll be learning? So we'll be learning something about the Python programming. Sorry. Python programming, and again, Python data analysis. All right. And again, data analysis means, I mean, so we'll be using some kind of packages in Python. So this, I mean, Python has few data analysis packages or libraries also we call it as NumPy as well as Pandas, and again, a Matplotlib. Okay, so which is used for visualization kind of thing, and of course Seaborn as well. And again, so we also look at some kind of Python machine learning. All right, it's Python machine learning. And again, so before we start off with machine learning, so we'll discuss few things about the statistics and EDA, also called as exploratory data analysis. So, I mean, based upon different kinds of data, right? How you need to infer something, how you need to take some kind of decisions here. So what is, I mean, the different statistical approaches we follow in, I mean, predicting something or in defining some kind of outcomes here. So all these techniques will be dealt here actually. So before we move on to Python, I mean, machine learning. So in machine learning, we'll be implementing certain algorithm kind of techniques again in order to train some kind of data. So where I'll show you with different applications. So you will be really getting all hands-on on all these kind of areas here. All right. So then we'll be using some kind of deep learning and then some kind of Gen AI kind of project I'll tell you. And again, so how we can implement this kind of machine learning techniques. So today, as I told you, I mean, there is certain kind of auto ML kind of concept in both Azure as well as AWS. I mean, so if you look at this cloud kind of things here. So how you can use this auto ML features without even writing the code here actually. So how can they help you? But in order to write this one, in order to use this one, right, you already need to know what is this kind of concepts here. Okay. So that is what the beautiful kind of concepts you will be learning here. So I've given you in-depth course curriculum here. So Python for AI and ML. So this is Python programming. So where you will learn, the complete things about the Python core programming here. And again, see, let me tell you. So Python is a very vast field again. So it's very vast language which has a lot of libraries, almost all 400 different libraries we have in Python. But again, what is required for our machine learning kind of things? And again, AI kind of things, we'll be using that one. All right. So Python for data science and something. So how you can use this one again. So that is again. Now after this, statistics and EDA, as I told you. So if you remember in your school days or even in your childhood days, right? Okay, so you had some kind of, introductory kind of statistical knowledge here. Okay, so where we have worked on this measures of central tendency. Okay, so mean, median, mode, right? All these kind of things here. Fine. So we're even going to use this one again, once again. Of course, apart from that one, so we'll also look at the some kind of advanced techniques like hypothesis testing and some other kind of things here. Yes, Suresh.
Vamshi, just want to know what are the minimum requirements to understand the whole thing here? Like we need to know some kind of programming language.
Let me tell you, Suresh. Okay, so you don't need to know anything. If you know something, it's an advantage kind of thing for you. But again, never mind, even if you do not know, because we'll be learning each and everything from scratch here. Okay, so right from the Python programming onwards, and again, statistics as well. So we'll discuss this in more number of ways actually. All right.
Thank
Again,
you.
machine learning. Yes. Okay. So when it comes to the case of machine learning, so all the different kinds of supervised, unsupervised learning kind of techniques, and of course, how can you train the model? How can you evaluate the model? And again, what kind of algorithm you need to use? Okay, in which scenarios you need to use the algorithm here? All right. So we'll be, learning all those kind of techniques here. And again, so deep learning and NLP. So we'll also be learning some kind of computer. Like for example, artificial neural networks. Okay, so I'll give you some examples on that. Then we'll dive into artificial intelligence and generative AI kind of concepts here. After this, so see, this course is all. Using this course, so you also can be uh, you could also take some kind of certifications also after completing this course, like Azure AI Engineer Associate. So there is a certification for this one. So let me also show you that. So Azure AI Engineer Associate. So there is a certification for this. So you could also be, eligible to in order to attempt this certification once after learning this course here. So all the things that you can learn from this one are already included as part of this course here. Okay. So you'll be gaining a complete advantage of this Azure kind of thing. Okay. So using this course here. So that means you'll be even able to develop AI models on cloud here, not just, using Python or something. So you'll also develop AI models on cloud here. So how you can use cloud models and again, cloud kind of infrastructure in order to come up with different AI models here. Similarly, generative AI using Azure OpenAI service. So we'll also look at this kind of things here. So I've given you different hands-on real-time project scenarios here. So where you can use this kind of you'll be really getting a different hands-on kind of scenarios, guys. So after once you learn this kind of concepts here, and again, after this, if you look at the real world projects, right? So I'll have included different scenarios here, like different industry kind of projects here. So for example, if you take the case of retail, okay, so in retail, we have this food or hub order analysis. So for example, if it is any kind of online store, online food order, right? Okay, so how you can analyze some kind of sales here. So how you can analyze some kind of, things here, how you can predict certain things here. Okay, so that kind of thing. Loan prediction model. So which is part of business and again, some kind of finance and banking kind of domain here. Immigrant visa prediction model. So today, you can see, so how this, immigration kind of things are going on. So how they use this kind of ML. Again, credit card churn prediction, customer product review analysis, which is again retail and e-commerce sector kind of things. And again, so how you can use the generative AI projects here. All right. So LangChain or something, whatever it is, recommendation systems with Azure ML. Again, automotive kind of analysis using some kind of SQL kind of things here. And again, finally, we'll also look at some kind of chatbot creation here. Okay. So these will give you really good hands-on and will give you, okay, so will make you stand out. Okay. So from others in the industry, in the job world here. Okay. So because see, if you, mention these kind of things in your portfolio, right? So portfolio in the sense your CV or your resume. So tell me who is going to stop you because you have, you have implemented these kind of concepts in different areas here. Now you know how to analyze or how to track some kind of online sales and how to analyze some kind of things here. Now you know how to use this kind of concepts in a banking domain here. Now you know how to use this kind of concepts in some kind of retail kind of scenarios, retail or e-commerce kind of scenarios here. So when you have this wider kind of knowledge, right? Okay, so which is being implemented in different domains here. Now tell me, so what do you get any kind of jobs here, guys? Fine. So if you look at the targeted jobs, right? Okay, so bonuses I'll tell you later. So if you look at the targeted jobs, right? So by this kind of knowledge, right, you could easily get a data analyst job. That is the minimum job I'm telling you, data analyst job. Easily you can get it. Okay. And again, see, apart from that one, but again, our targeted jobs are different here. Okay. So we'll be applying for AI engineer, machine learning engineer kind of positions, data scientist, generative AI engineer, and Azure cloud AI ML engineer here. All right. So all these kind of target job roles you will be able to apply for and you will be eligible for. And again, if you look at the program outcomes, so you can, secure very good pay packages here. So the pay packages are really very interesting and lucrative here. All right. So very high skyrocketing, I can tell you. All right. So people from US and Australia can take advantage like anything. And even in India also tell you what are the salary trends here. So in other session, I'll tell you, in detail about the salaries and the kind of roles you will be able to look at this. So in Microsoft, right? So for example, so you can see the salaries, the minimum salary, the average salary that is being given to AI engineers today is $180,000. $180,000. Now you can imagine what is that figure, and it could even go up to $300,000. So there are companies like Microsoft and Google who are paying you. But again, see, of course, which requires certain kind of knowledge and experience. But again, the minimum things also you can, it is very huge in numbers, right? And again, see, if you look at here, so almost all in India, right? So you can go up to, like, for example, 80 lakhs per annum, guys. So today, the salaries are skyrocketing even in India also. Even in Australia also, so we can see a lot of, like, for example, huge pay packages in terms of Australia and UK. Elsewhere, across the globe, you take it. So in other session, I'll also show you, in different cities or in different regions, right? What is the average pay they are paying you actually? Or all right, for AI engineers or machine learning kind of engineers here. And of course, I've also shown you the World Economic Forum report here. So what is the trend here? So that means you will be having much more demand because this is the future. I mean, because see, this is the future technology. All right. And I also already told you, you are directly or indirectly using AI. All right. So, for example, now if you learn this one, so you can see the packages or you can see the dream kind of roles or the dream kind of opportunities that you'll be getting. So, bonuses from our side is so time to time you will be given with lot of hands-on kind of scenarios, assignments, each and everything. So you'll be learning different things here. So real-time scenarios and everything. So after this course, so I'll give you some kind of updated interview questions on this. Jobs here, mock interviews if you really need it, placement assistance because we have a large placement kind of things here. So I will discuss this later. Now how you can get placed here actually. So because even we have some other kind of students also, so we can help you out. In case if you wish to take any kind of certifications also, as I told you, you can even attempt this. And again, I'll also help you build your portfolio because this is very, very important here. All right, your CV or resume. And again, as I told you, see, today hiring managers are not just relying on the traditional job portals. Okay, so they're also using LinkedIn as a medium actually in order to hire candidates here. Okay, and I'll also tell you how you can stand out, how you need to optimize your profile in order to stand out from others here. All right. And again, if you look at this on-job support, so once you get job, if you, stuck it anywhere, if you require any kind of assistance, we can even help you out with that one. So right from the training to even after getting placed, so we will not leave you. Okay. So you will, can have all the assistance you require here. Fine. So this is what I can tell you. So sorry, guys, I had to rush up a little bit actually. But again, we are
Indeed,
having
yes,
some
no
other
problem. But
things.
it's a big ocean, Vamshi.
Yes,
This
yes,
is
yes. Yeah.
it is really big. And thanks a lot, Vamshi, for um, l- taking a lot of
I
insights, lot of area. Yeah,
So I need to thank you, sir. Thank you again, guys. For giving me this opportunity. And again,
no problem at all. Yeah.
yeah.
So what we'll do is
So
we'll plan another session, Vamshi. Maybe
yes, yes,
we will the next session maybe we'll try to touch the hands-on part and a little bit more
yes,
insights before we start
yes,
the
yes.
actual classes. Yeah, we'll do that
Fine,
one.
fine. Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
So any
Thank you once
questions,
again.
guys?
Yeah, any final question before we close the call? Please feel free to
Yeah.
unmute, ask.
Hope you
Sorry,
people
does
have
this
enjoyed
we
this.
continue
Yes.
tomorrow, right?
So, Tosin, I'll just talk to Vamshi regarding the timing and then I will see the next session if it has to be tomorrow. Tosin,
Okay.
is it some holiday in USA tomorrow?
Monday on the 17th,
Monday,
yes.
somewhere, some
So
president
tomorrow
holiday.
is Sunday for us. Yeah.
Oh, tomorrow is Sunday. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check with Vamshi and then I'll just confirm again in all the groups so that you
Okay.
can benefit again. Yeah, sure, Tosin.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
When are the classes starting?
Perfect.
Like,
The
when are the
classes are
classes starting?
Yes, actually it's supposed to start from 17th, but the Vamshi is adding a lot of course content, so we decided to start from 3rd of March. So in 10 days of time, the classes will be starting. Oh, sorry,
So
yeah,
it's
from I
Saturday,
think from
Sunday,
1st
right?
of March.
So Saturday, Sunday, right?
S- oh yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be Saturday, Sunday from 1st of March. Sorry.
And what timings in the Australian
Sorry,
time zone?
why okay.
Oh,
When you say
okay.
Saturday, Sunday,
No,
is it
Tosin,
Saturday,
don't get confused.
Sunday?
No, don't get confused. Okay. In USA region, it is Friday night, Saturday night. So Vaibhav is
Okay.
from Australia. That's why he's saying Saturday and Sunday.
Oh,
Because
okay, got it.
USA evening time is Saturday morning time already.
All right, got it. Thank you.
You're
Sorry,
right.
bro.
So don't
Sorry
get
to
confused.
interrupt.
No, no, no,
I
no,
was
no.
just
All good,
shocked.
all good.
Okay.
Get
Yeah.
it to get clarification. Yeah, Vaibhav, our timing is going to be
Sorry,
most
can I
likely
ask?
from 11:30 to one question at a time, please. So from 11:30 to 2:30. It's a 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday. Okay, Vaibhav?
And
I'm
just
going to
one more last
communicate.
question, Lakshmi.
Yes,
Lakshmi, one last question. So the Agile course that you are having, what is that timings
yes.
for on Saturday,
That
Sundays?
timing that is from 11:30 to 3:30. That is 1 hour extra. So that's for 4 hours on Saturday, 4 hours on Sunday. And that is starting
So
from this
is it
weekend, from coming weekend.
so suppose like if like if someone wants to do both the ones, like they can't do right now?
You can do, but you have to rely on the recordings. For two of the classes, you have to rely on the recording.
Okay, no issues. Got
Yeah.
it.
Okay, Vaibhav? I can guide you more
Perfect.
on the
Thank you.
call if you want to take it both in parallel. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll talk offline. Thank you, Lakshmi.
Sure. Thank you very much, Vaibhav. Sorry, someone was asking question. I stopped. Any final questions, please?
I was just
All.
asking, you say it's
Oh yeah,
just
yeah.
two times in a week, Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah, Zach. It is on 2 times a week. If you are in Australia, it is Saturday and Sunday. And we go
Okay.
like this. We go for 13 weeks.
How many
It's
weeks?
over 13, 1 3, over three
Okay.
months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday classes. Monday to Friday, some kind of revision and hands-on assignment at your own comfortable time.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure.
Lakshmi,
Because
Praveen here.
this is yes, Praveen. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, just one quick question about the hands-on projects that
Yep,
Vaibhav was, sorry, Vamsi was showing.
Vamshi. Yeah.
So is it also covered in this 13 week, or I mean,
I
when do we
think
get time to do that?
Yes,
I
of
think
course. It
yeah.
is covered in this 13 weeks. And again, so you, I mean, so you will be getting a lot of time from Monday to Friday, right? So you can practice it, all these things here. Okay. Anyways,
Okay.
I'll show you how these projects will be done from scratch here. So you can learn all of the things. And again, I'll also give you the documentation part of that.
Good, thanks. Thanks, Vamsi.
So each and every
Thank you.
session recording will be shared with you, plus all the documentations that you I need to give you regarding the materials, the notes, and everything. So you can go through all of them, and again you can practice. I mean, okay.
Yeah. So this technology is really emerging, and this we can learn only with the help of Vamshi or these kind of experts who are really having the work experience. Even we are not getting required information online as well. Information is completely scattered here and there. So Vamshi, with his intelligence, he has like really structured the course in a practical way. So that is really going to help us to confidently apply for multiple jobs. Sorry for the background noise. I'm at a noisy place. Okay. All right, team. Any final question before I stop the recording? I'm going to share the
Um,
recording with all of you so that you can watch it again. Vaibhav?
yeah, just one final question, Lakshmi. It's for Vamsi that will it be helping us with the AI 900 course as well, which is the Azure AI fundamentals course?
Yes, of course. It will. It is part of the course, guys. Okay. So see, not only AI 900. So let me show you something. So all the concepts of this Azure fundamentals, Azure data scientist, and AI engineer. So you will be getting all this combo kind of things in one single course itself. So because it is the first step that we are launching, so I thought of giving you all this kind of knowledge here. Okay, so you'll
Okay,
be getting
thank you.
really hands-on on all these kind of things here. And again, so as I told you, once you complete this kind of course, right? So you can even attempt writing this kind of certification as well. So it's up to you
Thank you.
which kind of certification you can go for. Azure AI
Very good.
fundamentals, data scientist, and again AI engineer as well.
Yep, that's perfect. Lovely. Thank you once again to each of you for joining this valuable class. I hope all of you got a really required value for your time that you have invested. I'm going to share you the recording as well. And I'm going to share you the detailed course content, finalized course content with all of you. And our classes will be starting, the actual hands-on classes will be starting from 1st of March. I will communicate all the information to you. Okay, team? Okay, thank you very much once again. Bye-bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Stopping the recording.